Welcome to the daily live of Unacademy CAT4MBA channel. My name is Ronak Shah and I am the quant aptitude expert. So in this session, I'm going to teach you the remainders and we'll also practice some number system related questions. So I'm sure all of you are geared up. So in the previous sessions, we have discussed this concepts, number line, then HCF, LCM, divisibility. In fact, we practiced plenty of questions based on this topic. So I'm sure you would have revised this. In case if you missed those sessions, then please, watch those videos. It's available on this channel, which is CAT4MBA by Unacademy. So let's quickly go ahead. Let me quickly introduce myself in case if you are new to this session. So just for your information, I have completed my MBA in marketing and I am also an engineer. I have more than 12 years of training experience and I have trained more than 10,000 students till now for CAT and other MBA entrance exams. Apart from that, I have personally scored 99+ percentile in CAT for twice. And we have the best of the educators on this platform. So you can quickly subscribe to this channel so that you can attend all these daily live sessions. Right, now let me quickly brief you about the agenda of this session. So we are going to discuss negative remainder concept. So remainders we understand, but what is negative remainder? And it's a very useful concept. Then we'll look at some high power remainder question which are very frequent in CAT exam. If you look at past 7-8 years CAT paper pattern, so you will always find about one question related to remainder. And we'll look at various remainder theorem using which we can quickly solve the questions. And we'll also look at one important Euler's theorem which is related to numbers. And then we'll look at remainder theorem related to Euler's function and we'll practice some questions as well. So once again, good evening. In case if you haven't subscribed to our channel, so our channel is Unacademy CAT4MBA. Quickly subscribe to that and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you can get the notification about our daily live sessions, and you can also join our Telegram channel which is CAT4MBA. Right, so this is something about our subscription. So you can actually enhance your learning if you have avail the subscription of Unacademy. You can not only enjoy the session and attend the session over here on YouTube channel, but you can also attend the session on our Unacademy platform. Right, for that you need to quickly download the Unacademy Learners app and you need to take up this CAT subscription. You can go for 1 year subscription or 2 year subscription, and these are the prices. In fact, you can use my referral code which is SHAH10, and using that you will get 10% discount. Yeah, so hi Shubhankar, Varshini, Nicole. Yeah, good evening to all of you. So let's begin, guys. So we are talking about remainder concept. So let me take a simple question to ask you this. So can you quickly tell me what will be the remainder when 94 is divided by 8? What is the remainder when we divide 94 by 8? I'm sure you'll quickly answer this question. 11 8 is 88, so remainder is 6. That's correct. Now let's look at this situation in a different way. Can I say this 94 is nothing but 50? 94 can also be written as 50 plus 44. So if I want to divide this 50 plus 44 by 8, of course I should get the same remainder 6, right? So how can we do it? So when you have two numbers in addition and if you divide it by a common divisor, what you'll do is you'll divide the first number. So let's divide 50 by 8, the remainder will be 2. Let's divide 44 by 8, so remainder will be 4. And since these two numbers are in addition, so you will just add this remainder and again you will get remainder as 6. Yes, isn't that logical? Correct. So same way, this same 94 can also be written as 47 into 2. 47 2s are 94. So what if I wish to divide this 47 into 2 by 8, right? So again, you can divide this individual number by 8. So what is 47 divided by 8? The remainder will be 7. What if I divide 2 by 8? So 2 is a smaller number. When we divide a smaller number by a larger number, the remainder is the number itself. So remainder will be 2 over here. So now you will multiply these two remainders. So 7 2s are 14. So what you need to do is now you need to divide this 14 once again by 8, because remainder can't be greater than the number, right? So when you divide any number by 8, the remainder, the final remainder has to be less than 8. It can be anything from 0 to 7. Right, so we will divide this 14 by 8 once again and finally we will get the same remainder, that is 6. Correct. So see, the same simple number 94 we divided by 8, we got 6 remainder. If you write it this way or this way, ultimately you are going to get the same remainder. Yep. So have you all understood this part? Everyone, you should be pretty clear about this. Okay, in fact, yeah, hi Arunima, good evening. In fact, We can also do it this way. Can 94 divide by 8? Okay, so there is a common factor in 94 and 8. That is, this is your dividend, or you can say number, and this is your divisor. There is a common factor. Common factor is 2. So let's eliminate that 2. So 47 2s are 94 and 4 2s are 8. Now what if I divide 47 by 4? I should get the same remainder, isn't that? But I am getting 3 as the remainder. So why is it so? So guys, please remember, in the remainder question, when you eliminate a common factor from the number and the divisor, to get the final remainder, you will have to multiply again by the common factor to the remainder. So ultimately our remainder has to be 6. Okay, you can't say okay, 94 8 common factor is 2, we eliminated that, so remainder is 3. No, this is incorrect. The remainder has to be 3 into 2, that is 6. Are we clear about this? So these are certain simple points that you must understand. In fact, if you want, you can quickly note down this thing when I'm talking to you. You can quickly note down in your notebook, so that you do not commit such mistake that you eliminated a common factor and then you are saying that remainder is 3. See, please understand, the remainder is not 3. You will have to multiply by this factor that you eliminated again to that remainder. So you will get your final remainder as 6 that we saw earlier. Okay, remainder has to be 6 in all the cases. Correct? So I hope all of you are very clear about this concept. So we have taken 4 different examples. One very simple example, then the second situation, then the third situation, and this one is the fourth situation, right? I hope all of you have understood these 4 situations. Okay, now let me take a different scenario. Okay, let me just use one of this concept. So I'll just write it here. Okay, now what if I ask you to divide 3 into 3, or let me take a bigger number, suppose 8 into 8 by 5. Of course, this 8 divided by 5, remainder is 3, and this 8 divided by 5, again remainder is 3, right? So can we write down this as 3 square divided by 5? Now what is 3 square? It's 9. So 9 divided by 5, you are going to get remainder as 4, right? So what if I give you 8 raised to 10 divided by 5? What will be the remainder in this case? So if I wish to simplify this thing, can I say 8 raised to 10 is nothing but 8 into 8 into 8 for 10 times? And each of this 8 when divided by 5 will produce 3 as the remainder. Yes or no, everyone? Right. So this can be simplified and written in this way also. 8 raised to 10 divided by 5. This is similar to 3 raised to 10 divided by 5, by the way. Are you getting this point? So you should be able to write it in this form also. So see, please understand, we are going to look at some high power remainder questions. As you can see in the left pen, I have mentioned the points that we are going to discuss in next 30-40 minutes, right? So we are going to discuss this high power remainder question. In that you will have to apply this concept. Okay, so let me take one more example so that things become pretty clear for you. So suppose if I give you this kind of scenario, say 8 raised to 40 divided by 7, what is the remainder? So can I say 8 raised to 40 means 8 into 8 into 8 40 times, and each of this 8 when divided by 7 it leaves remainder 1. So just put this power 40 over here as a power of 1, and now your question is 1 raised to 40 divided by 7. 1 raised to any power is going to be 1. So actually here you are going to get straight away remainder as 1. So we simply solve this question, right? 8 raised to 40 divided by 7, we solve that question. That's nothing but high power remainder question. Of course, this was one of those easy questions, but I'm sure you have understood this thing. Have you all understood this? Yes? Quickly show me a thumbs up if you are with me. If you have understood this part, show me a thumbs up quickly, everyone. Great. Okay, so let's move to the next part. I'm sure you are very much charged up because we are discussing the concept which will be straight away asked in CAT exam. Okay, of course HCF, LCM based questions also you will find, but remainder students slightly find it difficult. But if we start from basics and if we build our conceptual understanding step-by-step manner, then nothing is difficult. Okay, so I'm going to make things very simple for you. Be here. Great. Yo. Fine guys, so let's understand one more concept which is of negative remainder. Okay, now this is going to be a very useful concept, negative remainder. In high power remainder questions, we will try to find out negative remainder. negative -1 remainder particularly. So what is this negative remainder? Because we have in school, we have seen remainder as 0, 1, 2, 3, something like that. We have never seen remainder as -1, -2, -3, and so on and so forth. So let's understand the concept of remainder once again. We are getting slightly into the basics part. Everyone, yeah. Hi Nivedita, Rajat Kumar, good evening everyone. So we are talking about negative remainder. So pay attention here. Let me take a number 12 and let me divide it by 5. Can you tell me what is the remainder? Very simple question. 12 divided by 5, the remainder is 2. Okay, because if you divide 12 in the groups of 5, you will be left with 2 objects, and that's why we say that it's the remainder. Fine. We don't need to get into that much detail right now, but remember that 12 is 2 more than the multiple of 5. So that's the remainder. Same way, if I divide 11 by 5, the remainder will be 1. Isn't that? Because 11 is 1 more than some multiple of 5. 5 2s are 10 plus 1 11. So we write remainder as 1. 10 divided by 5, of course it's perfectly divisible, so remainder is 0. Yeah. Hi Shubhankar. Okay. Now, what if I divide 9 by 5? Can I say the remainder has to be -1 here? Normally we write remainder as 4, but then if I look at this pattern, if I'm reducing the number, my remainder is also getting reduced, right? So 12 divided by 5, remainder is 2. 11 divided by 5, remainder is 1. 10, 0. So 9, it should be -1, na? Yes, this is also true. You can also write remainder as -1 because you can understand it this way, that 9 is 1 less than some multiple of 5. 5 2s are 10 and 9 is 1 behind 10, 1 less than 10, and that's why we can write remainder as -1. In fact, if I say 8 divided by 5, what is the remainder? So I can say remainder is -2 also. But guys, in actual exam, you will not find negative remainder in the option. In case if you are asked to find out remainder, the negative remainder will not be there in the option. So we will use this concept of negative remainder in order to simplify our calculation. But finally, we'll have to enter option as either 0 or positive remainder. So how to get that positive remainder back? So whatever negative remainder you have got, you just add it to the divisor and you will get positive remainder. So -1 added to 5. The final remainder is 4. -2 added to 5. The final remainder is 3. So this is how we can get the negative remainder. And negative remainder is going to be extremely useful. Now let me give you one example where we can use this concept of negative remainder. Please pay attention, everyone. So if I ask you, what is the remainder when 7 raised to 50 divided by 8? 7 raised to 50 divided by 8. Now can I say 7 divided by 8 remainder is -1? Because 8 ones are 8. 7 is 1 behind 8 or multiple of 8. So remainder is -1. Correct. Yes. Okay. So each 7 raised to 50 means 7 into 7 into 7 for 50 times, right? So each 7 when divided by 8, it leaves remainder -1. So there is 50 power. So straight away put 50 power over here. And now your question is -1 raised to 50 divided by 8. -1 raised to even power, it's always +1. So this is going to be 1, and that's why your final remainder is 1. See, we simply solve this high power question. 7 raised to 50 divided by 8, the remainder is 1. Yes guys, have you all understood this? Show me a thumbs up if you have understood this part as well, the negative remainder. Correct? Fine, superb. So let's go ahead and let's discuss some more high power remainder related questions. Okay, now one important point which I want you to write down in your notebook. I'm sure you remember that I have asked you to create a notebook where you are going to jot down the important points. So in the same notebook, please note down this point, that in the high power remainder questions, always try to get remainder 1 or -1. This is the simple rule. In high power remainder question, always try to get remainder 1 or -1. That's it. Okay, one more thing. See, in CAT or other entrance exams, whenever they ask you remainder question, they'll not give you any random question. They'll not ask you get 37 raised to 44 divide by 13, find the remainder. This is not solvable actually, right? So they'll not give you a random question. They'll give you a question which can be solved. In that question, you will get remainder 1 or -1 somewhere. Maybe you may have to juggle a bit more, but you will get that. Okay, and that juggling will decide the level of difficulty of that question. So please understand, please keep your hope alive that you are going to get 1 or -1 somewhere. You will have to use your number properties. Okay, everyone? Yeah, are you all with me? Great. Okay, Rajat, which concept did you miss? Which concept did you miss? So see, I have just explained this thing, Rajat, in case if you missed, all those who have joined just now. So we started with this remainder concept. I have given this example that 94 divided by 8 remainder is 6. Pay attention, Rajat, here. 94 divided by 8 remainder is 6. Now the same 94 can be written as 50 plus 44. So 50 plus 44 divided by 8, what is the remainder? So divide 50 by 8 and divide 44 by 8, you will get remainder as 2 and 4. Just add them, you will get remainder as 6 again. Same way 94 can also be written as 47 into 2. So now divide 47 by 8 and 2 divide by 8. So 47 divided by 8, remainder is 7. And 2, since it's a smaller number, divided by 8, remainder will be the number itself. So now again multiply this two remainders, 7 into 2, 14. Again divide 14 by 8 because 14 is more than 8. So we'll have to divide it once again. 14 divided by 8, remainder is 6. So that's how again you got the remainder as 6. In fact, I also explained this part that suppose if I write 8 into 8 into 8, or I can directly write 8 raised to 10 divided by 7, what is the remainder? So each of this 8 when divided by 7 is going to leave remainder 1. So 8 into 8 into 8 10 times. Each of these 8 will remainder 1. So we can directly write down this as 1 raised to 10 divided by 7. What is 1 raised to 10? It's 1. So 1 divided by 7, remainder is 1. So that's how you got remainder as 1. And this is what I just explained over here also in this example also. So we have applied that concept as well, right guys? Trust me, if I'll explain you remainder, I'll make sure that all the concepts are covered, whether it's Fermat's remainder theorem or Wilson's theorem or there's you can say Euler's theorem. So all the necessary theorems will be covered and you will be able to answer each and every question of CAT, SAT, IIFT, CMAT, NMAT, SNAP, whatever exam you take. Remainder question, if you have understood, if you have attended today's session and tomorrow's session, you will be through with the remainder concept, right? All my experience will come in the picture. Hi Akash, good evening. Good evening all of you. Right. Rajat, Euler spelling is wrong. It's EULER. It is pronounced as Euler, but it is EULER. Okay, so coming back to this point, all those who have just joined, so just for your information, we are talking about remainder concept, and this is we are discussing high power remainder, how to solve high power remainder question. So in that, the point that I have just mentioned is in the high power remainder questions, always try to get remainder as 1 or minus 1. Okay. Rajat will not use Chinese remainder theorem. ये तुम कहाँ पढ़ के आए? Yeah, Chinese remainder theorem, but then it was used long back. Nowadays they are not asking questions based on that. It's unnecessarily complicated. So, but good that you know that Chinese remainder theorem. Okay guys, you will not require to use that because of late the level of difficulty of CAT has gone down. So that's a good news for you, right? So yeah, whatever I'll be covering over here will be sufficient. You just trust me that way. Okay, so let's look at some of the question. So find the remainder when the following numbers are divided by 7. So 8 raised to 31 divided by 7, what is the remainder? So now I'm sure you will find it pretty easy. So 8 divided by 7, remainder is 1. So just write down 1 and put this 31 power over here. So 1 raised to 31 divided by 7. The final remainder is 1 itself. Are you all clear with this, everyone? Same way, 6 raised to 20 divided by 7. What is the remainder? Okay, 6 raised to 20 divided by 7. Now 6 divided by 7, can I say remainder is minus 1? Because 6 is 1 less than 7. Okay, so remainder is minus 1. In fact, had the question been something like this, 13 raised to 20 divided by 7, still you will write it same way, minus 1 raised to 20 divided by 7. Here we'll write minus 1 raised to 20 divided by 7. Because 13 is also 1 less than multiple of 7. 7 2s are 14, minus 1 is 13. So remainder is minus 1. Correct. Now what is negative number raised to negative 1 raised to 20? It's going to be positive 1. So 1 divided by 7, your final remainder is 1. Even in this case, the final remainder is 1. I'm sure these are easy questions, isn't that? So guys, quickly note down this question quickly so that we can go to the next part. I'll show you a few more questions. Okay, we are going to take about 3 to 4 questions right now and then few more questions when we'll start, we'll solve the exercise. Okay, so let's take couple of more questions. Yeah. Now here you need to divide 4 raised to 30 by 7. Okay, 4 raised to 30 by 7. Now guys, 4 divided by 7, remainder is 4, or you can say, minus 3, but minus 3 is of no use. So here we'll have to do some twisting. Okay. Which power of 4 will produce remainder 1 when we divide it by 7? Can you think of that power? What is 4 square? 16. 16 divided by 7, remainder is 2. Let's try a little more. What is 4 cube? 4 cube is 64, and 64 divided by 7. Can I say remainder is 1? 64 divided by 7, remainder is 1. 7 nines are 63. Right, so we got our clue. We can write down 4 raised to 30 as 4 raised to 3 whole raised to 10. And we write it this way. We have done basics of surds and indices and all, right? In case if you have missed that session, please attend the session in the afternoon at 2 p.m. the daily live sessions of basics of mathematics, or you can even look at those videos which are available in the playlist. So please make sure that you are very clear with the surds and indices. So 4 raised to 30 can be written as 4 raised to 3 whole raised to 10. Now we need to divide this one by 7. Okay. Now what is 4 raised to 3? It's 64. So our question is now 64 whole raised to 10 divided by 7. 64 divided by 7, remainder is 1. So our question became 1 raised to 10 divided by 7. Okay. So this came out to be 1. So I have just placed 1 and this power as it is. What is 1 raised to 10? It's 1. So 1 divided by 7, final remainder is going to be 1. Are we clear about this, everyone? Show me a thumbs up if you have understood this question quickly. And yeah, press the like button. Guys, how can you miss that? Press the like button quickly. I want all of you to press it. In fact, ask your friends to like this video so that we can get maximum viewers and maximum word of mouth, right? It's your responsibility to make sure that CAT for MBA becomes the best channel in the country for CAT preparation, right? Okay. Great. So same way, now let's take another question. This is we have already solved. So let me give you one more question. Suppose the question is something like this. Say 9 raised to 32 divided by 7. What will be the remainder? Can you think? 9 raised to 32 divided by 7. See, first of all, this 9 is more than 7. So straight away divide 9 by 7. So then 9 divided by 7, remainder is 2. So our question became 2 raised to 32 divided by 7. As simple as that. 2 raised to 32 divided by 7. Now we need to solve this question. Now, find out the power of 2, which will leave remainder 1 when we divide it by 7. So it's very easy. 2 cube is 8. 8 divided by 7 is going to be remainder 1. But the problem is there is 32 power over here. So we cannot write that in the form of 2 cube. Okay. See here the power was a multiple of 3. So I straight away write it as 4 cube whole raised to 10. Okay. But here the power is 32. So what shall we do? We'll have to do some rearrangement, guys. So 2 raised to 32 can be written as 2 raised to 30 into 2 raised to 2. Now we need to divide this one by 7, right? 2 raised to 2 is a very small number 4, so we can put it aside for time being. Let's focus on this 2 raised to 30 part. Now 2 raised to 30 can be written as 2 raised to 3 whole raised to 10 into this 2 raised to 2, which is 4 as it is. Now we need to divide this one by 7. What is 2 cube? 2 cube is 8. 8 divided by 7, remainder is 1. 1 raised to 10, remainder is going to be 1. 1 into 4. So final remainder will be 4. Have you all understood this, everyone? Yup. Yeah, Rajat, you are correct. The subscribers are increasing. All because of your support, guys. Right. But we need a little more support because our competitors are, looming at lack of subscriber, and we have just started. So it's a beginning for us. But yes, we are walking so fast. In fact, we are just going by leaps and bounds, right? And I'm sure in before CAT 2020 we will beat the competition. That's our agenda. We want this Unacademy CAT4MBA to be the best channel in the country for CAT preparation. All the educators will be preparing free to the students, right? Of course, if you avail those subscription, you can enjoy additional benefits, but that's at a very nominal cost, right? But this preparation is completely free. So have you all understood this question? Can you solve questions like this one? 9 raised to 32 divided by 7. What is the remainder? So we got remainder as 4. Yeah, guys, great. Okay, and I'm sure next year by the time the CAT results are out in the month of Jan, or if the CAT is delayed, so it may be in the month of Feb, you can proudly say that I studied on the India's #1 channel, which is CAT4MBA. Isn't that? So that will be a proudful moment for you as well. You can also post your report card. Once you get it, I'm sure few of you will definitely get above 90 percentile. The way you are preparing, just make sure that you carry the same momentum. You know, it should not happen that it goes away, it fades away somewhere in the journey, because you have still 5 months to go for CAT, and then another 2-3 more months by the time you complete your group discussion, personal interview, and the other entrance exam like CMAT and all, right? So the only thing that works is you need to keep yourselves motivated, right? So self motivation is very important. Of course, I'll also be there. So if you feel anytime, if you feel that you are feeling negative, your mock test scores are not going up, please interact with me. I'll also create few more channels to interact with you. So let's see if we can create interact with in Instagram or through Telegram groups and all. So I'll definitely create some more mediums to interact with you and come closure. So yeah, that's a promise. Yeah, Rajat, I'm still waiting, yeah. The DILR session, I'm seriously waiting for that. Hopefully it will happen tomorrow, but it is not updated still on the playlist. So let's see, let's be positive. I'll surely confirm this thing by tomorrow 2 o'clock. Please ask me this question during that basic math session. I'll confirm about our DILR session, whether we are starting from tomorrow or we are starting after day after tomorrow. Okay, fine guys. So great, let's look at few more questions. So again, find the remainder when you divide this one by 7. So guys, isn't this a simple question? Because 5 divided by 7, now we can straight away write down -2 as a remainder if we want. See, there are 2 ways to solve this question. We'll take 2 different approaches. So 5 divided by 7, 5 is 2 less than 7. So -2 is the remainder, -2 raised to 18. Now you know any negative power, any negative number raised to even power, it's going to give you positive result only. So instead of writing -2 raised to 18, we can also write 2 raised to 18 now. It will remain same, it doesn't make any difference, isn't that? So now our question is 2 raised to 18 divided by 7, and 2 raised to 18 can be written as 2 cube whole raised to 6. Now this divided by 7, of course this is going to be 1. So our final remainder came out to be 1. So see, I am following this principle that in the high power remainder question, we should always try to get remainder 1 or -1. Even in the previous question, if you observe, no matter whatever question was, my goal was to get that remainder 1 wherever possible, right? So this is what we are doing. It's as simple as that. Okay, so this is one way of solving this question, guys. Now let's look at another approach for this question. So 5, identify a power of 5 which will leave remainder 1 or -1 when you divide it by 7. Can you quickly type in the chat box which power of 5? 5 square, 5 cube, 5 raised to 4, which power of 5 will leave remainder 1 or -1 when you divide it by 7? Yeah, write it in the chat box. Let me quickly see how many of you are good at powers, because I have already asked you to remember powers of 2, 3, 5 and all, right? So you should remember that 5 cube is 125. I've also asked you to do your tables. 18 sevens are 126. So 126 is a multiple of 7. So 125 will leave remainder -1 when you divide by 7, isn't that? So yes, 5 raised to 18 can be written as 5 cube whole raised to 6. Correct. And now we need to divide this one by 7. So 5 cube is 125 raised to 6. Divide by 7, and 125 and divided by 7 leaves remainder -1. So now my question is -1 raised to 6 divided by 7. Of course, negative number, even power, it's going to be 1. So 1 divided by 7, final remainder is going to be 1 only. You do it this way or you do it this way, remainder is going to be 1. Yeah, guys? Correct? Are you all with me? Show me a thumbs up if you have understood this concept. Quickly, because I'm going to throw some challenging question. You should be able to figure out at that point of time. Ultimately, you will have to find out the way that how are you going to get that remainder 1 or -1. As simple as that. Correct, guys? Good. Arunima, are you able to understand this? Nicole, Arunima, Shubhankar. Yeah, Varshini, Rajat. Great. Good to see you all. Akash, right. Great, Akash. Guys, I'll suggest please be there on time so that you do not miss anything. Bearing that first 1 or 2 minutes, you can't miss any single slide in any of my session. Trust me. Okay, because I'll definitely cut short the crap and I will come back to the point. Okay, so please be here and let's continue learning. Now let's look at some questions. Everyone, it's time to apply the concepts that we have understood. So find the positive and negative remainders when the following numbers are divided by 11. Find the positive and negative remainders when the following numbers are divided by 11, right? So first number is 20. So 20 divided by 11. What are the remainders? Of course, the positive remainder is 9 and negative remainder is -2. Yes, everyone, do you agree with this? 11 ones are 11, so 20 is 9 more than 11, or you can say 20 is 2 less than 22, correct? Same way, 200 divided by 11. 200 divided by 11. So guys, 198 is a multiple of 11. Yes, 18 tens are 180 and 18 into 11 is 198. So 200 will leave remainder 2, or you can say remainder -9, because the next multiple of 11 after 198 is 209. So you can say 200 is 9 less than the multiple of 11. That's why you can also write -9. Correct? Okay, fine. What about this one? 560 into 563 divided by 11. Everyone. So 560 divided by 11, of course 11 5s are 55, so 550 is completely divisible by 11, so you can say remainder is 10 over here. And if 560 leaves remainder 10, so 563 must be 3 more than 10. So 3 more than 10 is 13, but 13 can't be remainder when you divide by 11, so divide 13 once again by 11 and you will get remainder as 2. Did you get this point? Right? See guys, if I understand that 560 leaves remainder 10, so 563 should leave 3 more remainder, that is 10 plus 3, 13, but 13 can't be remainder when we divide a number by 11. So let's divide that 13 once again by 11. Okay, so 13 divided by 11, remainder is 2. So straight away we can make out that the remainders are 10 and 2. So multiply them. So you will get 20 as the result. So now we need to divide 20 by 11. So remainders can be 9 or -2 once again. So these are the points that you need to understand in order to solve questions, the CAT level questions. Yeah. So are you all with me? Guys, have you understood this? Shall I give you more questions? Great. Fine. So try for this one. Now you have plenty of questions. Solve it quickly. See, please understand, whatever you get as the remainder for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 remainder will be 1 more than this one. Okay. So divide 1, 2, 3, 4 by 7. What is the remainder when you divide 1, 2, 3, 4 by 7? Quickly do it. So 7 ones are 7. Right, 5, 53, 7 sevens are 49, 4, 44, 7 6 are 42. So we got 2 as the remainder, isn't that? Yeah, I'm just solving, getting the remainder. I don't want quotient. So this remainder is 2. So what should be the remainder over here? It should be 3. Correct? So what is the final remainder? 2 plus 3, 5. Okay, so 5 is your remainder over here. Everyone, have you understood this? Yeah, great. So as we have, yeah, so what will be the remainder over here? What is the difference? There was a multiplication sign and there was a plus sign, and there is a multiplication sign over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 7, remainder is 2. 1, 2, 3, 5 divided by 7, remainder is definitely going to be 3. 2 into 3, what is the remainder? Remainder is 6 over here in this case. Okay, so yeah, Rajat, that's a good thing. You spend daily 3 hours with me. Okay, that's good, nah? Which coaching class is going to teach you 3 hours every day? No other. Only at Unacademy you can learn for 3 hours every day. And it's fun, guys, because you are sitting at in the comfort of your own home, right? So it's not that challenging for you. Just open up your computer, tablet. I'll not suggest using mobile, guys. If possible, use computer or laptop or tablet. Use slightly bigger screen so that you can clearly see that. And second, mobile screens are not good for eyes. Okay, so this computer and tablet are still okay. Fine. Now, what about this one? So 1, 2, 3, 4 square divided by 7. Of course, 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 7, remainder is 2. So here it will be 2 square divided by 7. So once again, remainder is 4. Yeah, guys. Fine. Jagdish, are you talking about this question? 1, 2, 3, 4 into 1, 2, 3, 5 divide by 7. Are you talking about this question, Jagdish? Yes or no? If you are talking about this question, then let me quickly explain. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4 divide by 7, remainder was 2. 1, 2, 3, 5 divide by 7. Of course, remainder should be 1 more than 2, that is 3. Since these numbers are in multiplication, so multiply this two number, 2 into 3, 6. So now final remainder is 6 because 6 is less than 7. So that's your remainder. You know, instead, let me take one more example over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into 1, 2, 3, 7. Divide by 7, what is the remainder? So of course 1, 2, 3, 4 divide by 7, remainder is 2. 1, 2, 3, 7. Of course the remainder should be 3 more than this one, so it will be 5 because this number is 3 more than this one, so remainder has to be 3 more than that. So multiply this to 2 into 5. What is that? 10. 10 is more than 7, so divide it once again. Your final remainder would have been 3 in that case. Are we clear, guys? Okay, great. Fine. So now I'm sure you can quickly answer this question. See, for this question, you should not use pen and paper. Everyone. Now, remainder question. For the remainder question, I'll suggest use your brains and try to do lots of mental calculation. Okay. So let me help you understand these questions. Of course, 1, 2, 3, 4 cube divided by 7. So it will be 2 cube divided by 7. 2 cube is 8. So remainder is going to be 1. Same way, 1, 2, 3, 4 raised to 99 divided by 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 7, remainder is 2 raised to 99 divided by 7, which can further be written as what? 2 raised to 3 whole raised to 33, because we want to get remainder as 1, and 2 cube is 8, 8 divided by 7, remainder is going to be 1. So this part will leave remainder 1, 1 raised to 33, your final answer is going to be 1. Same way, this number divided by 7, so of course it's 2 raised to 99 into 2 raised to 1. Now this divide by 7, we have already seen 2 raised to 99 divide by 7, remainder is 1, so we can straight away write down remainder 1 over here. This 1 into 2, it's going to leave final remainder as 2, guys. So this is how you can quickly solve these questions, right? I'm sure remainder will be a cakewalk. Solving remainder question, you will search for remainder questions. We will make it that simple for you guys. Okay, so let's look at a few more questions, guys. Now I expect you to try all these questions on your own. You should tell me the correct answer quickly, without wasting even a second. It should happen quickly in your mind. For example, 8 cube is 512. So 514 divided by 8 is going to leave remainder 2, because 512 is a multiple of 8. So 514, see, please understand, 8 cube is 512. That means 512 is a multiple of 8. So 514 is 2 more than this multiple of 8. So 514 divided by 8, remainder is going to be 2. Isn't that, guys? Yep. See, guys, the sessions here on are going to be like this. I mean, it will be very fast. You will not realize when the time will fly away. Okay, and we are left with hardly 15 more minutes, guys. Okay, 15-20 more minutes. And this remainder is definitely fun. In fact, the subsequent topics, like we are going to discuss factorial and finding zeros at the end of the number, and then those 2-digit and 3-digit questions and all. So all of this topic will be fun. Okay, and once the number system is over, then we will go ahead with permutation and combination, right? We are going to discuss permutation and combination, very important area. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that permutation, combination and probability, you will be able to solve every tough question. Okay, so next 10-12 days and we are through with numbers as well as permutation, combination, probability. You can say about 6 to 7 questions if you look at general CAT pattern. Of course 2019 there were fewer questions from numbers, and even for permutation, combination there were just 2-3 questions, but otherwise CAT people have some flair for this topics, numbers and permutation, combination. Okay, so guys, what are the answers for this one quickly? So of course 514 divided by 7 divided by 8, remainder is 2, so 2 square is 4, so this remainder is going to be 4. Are we clear with this? Okay, what about this one? So 1009 into 1001, so 1009 divided by 8, remainder is 1, because 1000 is divisible by 8, so 1008 should also be divisible by 8. This is 1009, so it should leave 1 more than that. Yeah, Shubhankar, I'll take care of that permutation, combination and probability. Just attend my sessions. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so now 1009 leaves remainder 1. So this should leave remainder 3. So 1 into 3, your final remainder is going to be 3. Everyone. Yep. Okay, 2 raised to 12 divided by 8. What is the remainder, guys? 2 raised to 12 divided by 8. Can I say 2 cube itself is 8? So 8 divided by 8, remainder is 0. So definitely any power of 2 which is 3 or more than 3 is going to be multiple of 8. If you take 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 5, 2 raised to 6, all of this will be multiple of 8, because 2 cube itself is a multiple of, is divisible by 8, right? So this will leave remainder 0. Okay, now 3 raised to 40 divided by 8. What is the remainder? 3 raised to 40 divided by 8, guys. So which power of 3 will give you remainder 1 when you divide by 8? Of course 3 square. So just write it this way: 3 square whole raised to 20 divide by 8. 3 square is 9. 9 divided by 8, 1. 1 raised to any power, it's 1. So remainder is 1 over here. Okay, same way. Now this one is going to be slightly tricky, everyone. Let's try for this question. Let me just write it over here: 5 raised to 10 into 7 raised to 8 divided by 8. Now guys, 7 divided by 8, of course remainder is going to be -1, and -1 raised to 8, it's going to be 1, so that's not a concern. What about 5? So can I say 5 square is 25, and 25 divided by 8, remainder is 1, because 24 is multiple, so we'll have to write it this way: 5 square whole raised to 5. And this divided by 8, remainder is going to be 1. Even this is 1, so final remainder is 1 itself. Yeah, everyone, show me a yo, because we are almost through with the remainder questions, the basic remainder question. Now we need to look at some complicated remainder questions. Okay. Yeah, so I'm sure all of you have understood this. If you want, you can quickly note down. Okay, so guys, those who are new to this one, just let me quickly tell you that you can also download this Unacademy app and you can attend my special classes. You can find me on Unacademy platform by, once you have downloaded the app, you can search me by the name Ronak Shah, right? And you can just follow me over there, so you will get notification about my classes. I conduct free special classes on Unacademy app also, so you can follow me over there, right? And you can you'll also be able to attend my marathon session, which I'm going to conduct very soon. And if I start any new courses over there or new batches over there, you will get notification. So guys, now there are 2 questions for you. Quickly answer these 2 questions, everyone. 2 more questions. So what is the remainder when 7 cube is divided by 344? Can I say 7 cube is 343? So 343 divided by 344, remainder will be -1 or 343 itself. So here you just need to write answer as 343, because we don't write -1 in the answer. You will not find negative answer. You will always have to write positive answer. So this is a simple question. Correct. Okay. Now same way, can I say 7 divided by 6, remainder is 1. 5 divided by 6, remainder is -1. So -1 raised to 83. It's going to be -1. Add this -1 in 6. So you will get 5 as the remainder. Everyone, you will get remainder as -1, but -1 can't be the remainder, so you will have to add to the divisor. So final remainder is this one, positive 5. Okay, so it was as simple as this question. Fine guys, so now there are a few theorems which we need to quickly understand, and after the theorems we'll stop the session, because I want you to spend some time in digesting those theorems. वो यहाँ पे अटकने वाले हैं आपको थ्योरम, तो वो थ्योरम जो मैं बता देता हूँ, कल जब आप सेशन के लिए आते हो, व्हेन यू कम बैक टुमारो फॉर द सेशन, मेक श्योर दैट यू हैव कंप्लीटली understood those theorem, right? And you should be able to apply it in the questions that we take up. Okay, there are a few more questions before we go ahead with the remainder, the theorems, right? So let's quickly answer this question. Let me explain. In fact, when a number is divided by 45, the remainder is 6. Guys, here you need to remember one formula, that number is always divisor times quotient plus remainder. You must have studied this thing in school, right? So for example, 13 divided by 5, the quotient is 2 and the remainder is 3. So we can write this 13 is the number, so we can write 13 as divisor times quotient plus remainder. Isn't this simple? So this is what I have written over here. Okay, so we need to apply this concept in this question. Okay, so let's quickly understand. So when a number is divided by 45, so your number is of this form, 45 into q. We don't know what is the quotient, so q is the quotient and it leaves remainder 6. So let's write plus 6. 45 into q plus 6. This is that. This is the number. Find the remainder when twice the number is divided by 15. So if n is this one, what is twice of n? So twice of n will be equal to 90 into q plus 12. Now we need to find out what will be the remainder when this one is divided by 15. So can I say 90 is completely divisible by 15? So of course this part will leave remainder 0 when you divide by 15. Yes guys, let me just write it with a different ink color so that it becomes easier. So this part will leave remainder 0 when you divide by 15. So 12 divided by 15, remainder is 12 itself. So final remainder will be 12 only. Okay, same way, let's try for this one. Everyone, again this 90 divided by 9, remainder is 0. So 12 divided by 9, what will be the remainder? It will be 3. Now 30 divided by, so if you divide this number by 30, what will be the remainder? Again 90 is completely divisible by 30, right? So 12 divided by 30, remainder will be 12 itself. So I hope you have understood this thing once again, right? In case if you didn't get, you can just revisit this video and you will, I'm sure you will understand. It is just this concept. Rajat, you are writing wrong spelling of mine. It's not Ronak. So let me just clear once again. My name is Ronak and you just need to put Kumar behind this and Shah. Find me by this name. Yeah, it's Ronak and then Kumar and Shah. Yes guys, fine. Okay, so now this one find the remainder when this one, so 17 divided by 9, remainder is -1, so -1 raised to 17. Okay, it's going to be -1, so add this to a 9, so your final remainder will be 8. And same way you can also solve this question. It's not that difficult. Now guys, please keep your notebooks with you and just straight away note down this theorem. The first theorem is Fermat's little theorem. Fermat's little theorem for remainder. It says that any number A is any number, raised to p power, where p is the prime number, minus a, this will always be divisible by p. Okay, let me take one example. If I take a number 2, I can also take 3, 4, 5, कुछ भी ले सकता हूँ. I can take any number. Raised to this prime number 7. Okay, divide by 7. What will be the remainder? And another question, 2 raised to 7 minus 2 divided by 7. What will be the remainder? So guys, please check for this thing, because this point relates to this one and this particular point relates to this one. Okay, and both of these are correlated. If 12 divided by 5 leaves remainder 2, so 12 minus 2 divided by 5, remainder will be 0. Of course, it will be completely divisible. So this is what it says. So understand this point clearly. Any number 2 raised to 7 power, which this should be prime number, by the way. Okay, minus the same number 2. If you divide this one by the same prime number, the remainder will be 0. It will be completely divisible. You can try for that. What is 2 raised to 7? 128. Minus 2 divided by 7, see, it's completely divisible. Remainder will be 0. Or you take any other number. Let's take this one, 4 raised to 3. Okay, minus 4 divided by 3. The remainder has to be 0. Okay, but normally we keep this one less than this prime number. We keep it less than prime number, but still it works. Are we clear? So guys, if you do not subtract this part, then your remainder will be that number itself. And this is what this point says. Okay, a raised to p leaves remainder a when you divide by p. So 2 raised to 7 divided by 7, remainder will be 2. And if I subtract that 2, so my remainder will be 0. So this is how the 2 points are related to each other. Are you finding it difficult? Is it difficult or easy? Please type in the comment section. Is it difficult or easy? Type in the chat box. If you find it difficult, then type difficult. If you are finding it easy to digest, then type easy in the chat box, please, quickly, so that I'll understand that at what pace should I explain. Everyone, quickly, I'm waiting for your replies. Are you all there? Akash, Varshini, Arunima, Rajat, Nicole, Shubhankar. Yeah, easy, good, Varshini. What about Akash, Nicole? I didn't see you, Nicole. Nicole has replied, right? Where is Arunima? Shubhankar, right? Great, guys. Easy peasy. Akash. Okay, great. Yeah, fine. So let's quickly go ahead with one more example. Acha, this is also one more example, and this is also relates to that. This also relates to that. Let me just erase this part. So guys, let's understand this one first. 14 raised to 23. See, this is a prime number. Minus 14 divided by 23. By default, remainder is going to be 0. Now, this is going to be a big number. You don't need to verify. You can trust. You can trust this mathematician. That's perfectly fine. Okay. So 14 raised to 23 divided by 23. Remainder will be 14 itself. See, here we subtracted that 14 and that's why we got remainder as 0. If you don't subtract that, then we'll get remainder as 14 only. Okay, so this is this format remainder theorem. Now there is one more theorem. Just note down this thing, guys. We'll discuss this later on. Once we'll discuss the factorial number, we'll discuss this. So p minus 1 factorial divided by p, the remainder is p minus 1. Very rarely you will get question based on this one. But if you come across a question, there is no choice but to apply this. So these are the example. Let's try to solve this. What is 5 minus 1? 4. What is 4 factorial? 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That is 24. 24 divided by 5. What is the remainder? 4. Can I say it's nothing but 5 minus 1, or you can say p minus 1, because here we have taken p as 5. We got remainder as p minus 1. As simple as that, right? Same way you can verify for this examples also. Just note down this thing. Right, one more Euler's remainder theorem, and for that you will have to understand Euler's numbers. So in tomorrow's session, in the next session, that is our lesson number 6, I'll explain the Euler's theorem and Euler's Oh, sorry. Euler's co-prime numbers. So mathematician, he was a mathematician, very great mathematician. He has given that mathematical constant 2.718 something something. Okay, and he has also given some theorems for this one. So we will discuss this tomorrow. Yeah, Rajat, question application में तो problem आएगा because see, right now we are looking at this particular concept. So you may find it slightly easy, but when there are hundreds of such concepts, few from permutation, few from numbers, few from geometry, then percentage profit loss times per distance. So then things may become complicated, right? And for that, to simplify that, what is required? Periodic revision. Every week you need to spend 2 hours for the revision. So what I'm thinking is on this Sunday, I'm going to conduct a 2 to 3 hour session. It will be a marathon session on number system. So in the evening, I'll conduct a marathon session for numbers, and in the afternoon, I'll conduct the marathon session for the basics of mathematics. Okay, so you'll understand all the basics of mathematics, guys. Yeah. So that's it for today, guys. We are through with the topic. So tomorrow we'll discuss, the special cases and then this Euler numbers. There are 2 more special cases that we need to discuss. We'll discuss that tomorrow, and then we'll finish this particular topic. Tomorrow we are also going to discuss one important concept called cyclicity. Cyclicity. So that means it is used to find out last digit of numbers. If you want to find out last digit of number, for example, if I ask you what is last digit of 132 raised to 132, find out the last digit. So we use this cyclicity. Very simple concept. I'll explain that for you, and you will understand that it will take just 10 to 15 minutes for us to understand cyclicity. So that's it for today, guys. Enjoy your time and sleep well.